Hello, ladies. I am so excited to chat with you this week. We're going to do a little bit more of a mindset week this week, and because mindset is one of the most important things in business. And I know that people are like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. No, you need a business plan and you need a solid mindset. So today we're going to kind of talk about some things that, I don't know, I struggle with. And so I'm thinking maybe you struggle with it too. And if you don't struggle with it today, maybe you will in, I don't want you to struggle, but, maybe it's something that you'll encounter in a month or in 3 months, and you can always come back to this video and revisit it. And it's kind of bright outside, so sorry. I just got out here. Probably should just sat out here for a little while, but it's something that I feel like we all have to work on at some time, okay? So we're going to work on today comparison, mindset, and how to set you apart, you, your business, your community apart. Okay, that's kind of what we're going to talk about today because it's really easy, especially with Facebook. I think, maybe 10 years ago, there wasn't as much of this. Like if you had a business, you didn't compare yourself to everybody because you didn't see what they were doing, right? Like you didn't know what, Fred's lawn shop was doing because you didn't go to Fred's lawn shop, and Fred's lawn shop didn't have social media. But now everything's out there on websites and emails and on Instagram and Facebook, and everything looks so beautiful and perfect, and they have all these packages that they're selling, and and there's so much comparison. But today, I want to help you remove the comparison. I want you to go in. So a lot of times, people will call it blinders. People call it blinders, and putting on your blinders. Now, I think that there should be a happy medium. I learn from other retailers. I really do. And I watch people. I watch live videos. I see how they're selling things. I learn from people. Now, I don't learn from everyone because it's really important that you're not learning from everybody. All right. Because if you're learning from everybody, then you're going to be stuck in paralysis, right? That's why you shouldn't have 10 coaches. That's why you shouldn't have 10 mentors. That's why you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't have 10 best friends because then they're all telling you what to do. And that's just in anything, that's just too much. And confusion is always going to lead to inactivity. I will always tell you guys that with sales, with promoting, with yourself, with learning, education. If there's confusion, you're not going to work. Okay. And so I know that as your leader, I'm as your mentor, whatever you want to call me, I know that, and I need you to not be confused. And so I don't want you learning from everybody. Okay. So first off, I would recommend learning from some people that have your style or that you can relate to. All right. So obviously learn from me. That's one of the people that you learn from. But there's a lot of other retailers out there. I would recommend finding someone who has around the same amount of people as you do in your community. Maybe a little bit more because you want them to be a little bit more elevated to learn from them. Maybe that has a little more sales than you or a little more activity in their community than you do, or they've been doing it for a little longer than you have, okay? But I would recommend finding someone that you can relate with. So I have, trying to think of how many ladies that I learn from. I have probably, that I go to their community probably once a week to kind of check out what they're doing. What are they selling? What products are they selling? How are they selling them? How are their live sales going? What do they say about their plus size clothing? Because I'm not plus size. There's nothing wrong with that. But being plus size or not doesn't matter. I'm not plus size. So how are they advertising their plus size clothing? How are they talking about this clothing, right? That kind of stuff. So I probably watch 2 to 3 communities weekly to kind of see what they're doing. Okay. And they're just people that I relate with. They have the same style as me. And yeah, so I would find 2 to 3 of them. Now, obviously I'm probably one, but you don't have to be creeping on my community if you don't really vibe with how I sell things. Okay. I'm sure you do a little bit considering we're here and you're learning from me, but I'm not saying I'm the only way. Okay. I want you to learn from other people, but I also don't want you to learn from everyone because if you learn from everybody, you're just going to be stuck. Okay, so I would find 2 to 3 people that you could have as your mentors, and they don't even need to know that they are your mentor. Okay, they don't need to know that. You can just use them as someone that you go to, and you kind of check out what are they doing. If they're struggling, what are they doing? How are they talking about this? What brands are they selling? Things like that. Like just kind of learn from them. Okay, that's what a mentor. That's what a mentor is. So, you can also turn off notifications. So if you feel like you're stuck in comparitis, you can turn off notifications. So you can still be in people's groups, like if you love them, but like these communities that I'm in, I don't have their stuff popping up every other minute because that distracts me. That distracts me from my creativity. That distracts me from my work. That distracts me from my brand. But I do go into their communities when I'm like, oh, what is so and so doing? Okay. Oh, what is so and so? I'm just gonna call them so and so's, because I don't want to tell you guys the names of them. Not that I'm like hiding it. I mean, if you really want to message me, but like my brand is not your brand. My style is not your style. Um, but I'll go into their communities and be intentional. Everything should be intentional. And that's the thing with social media. A lot of times things become unintentional, right? We just start scrolling, we just start looking, we just start getting these notifications and things just start going crazy. Be intentional. You can turn off the notifications to those communities that you join or that you're in, and go to them intentionally, right? If it's not serving you, turn it off and then make it serve you in the way that you want or leave them, right? You don't have to be in these communities just because they invited you or, a lot of, I mean, like mine is public, really. Like people don't really have to be in mine to look at it. They have to be in it to comment, but if they want to buy something, they would have to be in it. But yeah. So yeah, that is that. Now, what I'm going to tell you, that's kind of like finding people to mentor you and kind of losing that comparitis. Just because like we're human beings and that's what happens. Like we compare ourselves to other people, right? We compare our business to other businesses and it happens. It's going to happen. So how do we deal with it? Now, I'm going to tell you some tools that you should use to really appreciate yourself and your style and then we're going to talk about your community because a lot of you guys are going to have communities, whether that's a business page or a group or Instagram. You still need to figure out how to set your community apart. Okay, because I go to so-and-so's and so-and-so's communities because I like how they run their communities, right? So it's not just their style, it's not just how they sell, it's their community as well, okay? So first I want you to focus on your style. And I know you guys are like, dude, Emily, if we talk about this one more time, but I'm not kidding. Like this is something that I perfect every single day. I'm looking for stuff. I'm thinking, what's my style? Who are my people? I'm thinking about that all the time. And the second you get lax on what your style is and what you're ordering, guys, it becomes a mess and you won't be able to sell it. I started selling this brand just because I thought it was a cool brand, but my customers really didn't vibe with it. It really wasn't my style. Like the stuff that was being brought out at the time, at the moment. And I think as things evolve and things continue to grow, it will be, but like, don't just do something because you think it's an awesome opportunity or whatever. Like I took this brand on and it really wasn't for me or my customers. Okay. It just was because the brand looked cool and I wanted to do the opportunity. Right. And so it's just like the second you lose sight of what your brand stands for, what your style is, what your shop style is, that's when things start going awry, guys. Okay, so always revisit that. Always revisit that. If you're in comparitis, use yes, I have bugs attacking me. If you're in comparitis, hunker down on your style. Okay, and I know that can be scary because you might push a few people away, but you're also going to pull in the awesome people. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. You only need like 1,000 true fans to build an epic business. True fans. And so, in my opinion, what that would be is people. Now, there's always gonna be an evolving door, guys, a revolving door. There's going to be people that leave and there's going to be people that come back and there's going to be people that, there's always a cycle. So you always got to be growing your customer base, and we will talk about that. We will talk about how to grow your customer base. I'm not going to talk about that today, but that is something that we're going to talk about this summer because it's really, really important that we're always growing and evolving. Anyways, what I was telling you is you only need about 1,000 true fans because and to me, that's your style. They're the people that love your style. They would buy every single thing that you ordered or you found or you styled for them, right? That's what I think a true fan is in a boutique. All right. So just think about that. You don't need that many people to have an epic brand. You just need 1,000 diehards that really love you and your style. All right. And then focus on your strengths. Guys, my strengths, this is my communication strength. I don't write very well. I don't type very well. I don't communicate well. And so, like, I know, like, some of you guys, when we were, like, deciding if we were going to be good together, like, compatible for me to coach you, I did a lot of voice chatting, right? Because that's my strength. My strength, I communicate very well through voice, through video. That's just me. But that's not everybody. Some people communicate really well written. Some people write or communicate very well, like, in like stories. Some people communicate very well in audio instead of video. Okay, so you have to figure out what is your strength, and it's not just communication. It's all the things, like how you love on your customers, how you communicate when you're out and about in the community. Just there's so many things, but write a list of your strengths, because those are the things you have to come back to when you're feeling comparitis and you're feeling like, oh my god, everybody sells clothes. Number one, everybody does not sell clothes. You're just inundated with a bunch of people who sell clothes, because those are the people you're attracted to. You want to learn from them. Okay, everybody does not sell clothes. Number one, when you start thinking that, come back to this list. When you start feeling like she's better than me, come back to this list. When you start feeling like she sells more than me, come back to this list, guys. These are things that we deal with, where it's never going to go away. If you're going to be a business owner that's successful, you're going to have to learn how to combat these mental struggles that we have, that we're gonna have, that we have. My husband's going through this right now. He's starting an education project for himself, like a school or an education center, and he's battling a lot of these things in his mind, because there's humans out there that are bringing him down, and there's his brain that's telling him, no, you're not going to be good at this, and there's his brain telling him that this is too crazy, right? All these things, and all you have to do is be able to control your mind. So go back to, what is your style? Go back to what makes your style amazing. Go back to your strengths, okay? Focus on those two things. So I want you to write those two things down. So far, homework is, I don't have the homework written down. Homework is finding 2 to 3 people that are your mentors, and they don't have to know they're your mentors. Just follow them, love them, search them, find them. There's so many boutiques online. Like, you can find amazing boutiques that you can use as a guiding post for how you run your business, and not necessarily logistically, but you know what I mean, like the front, the social, right? So find 2 to 3 people as your mentors. I might be one, I might not. I'm not gonna like cry or have my feelings hurt. Like, I'm just thankful that I'm here as, like, your coach and your mentor here. But my shop style might not be for you, and that's okay. That is okay. And then second, I want you to focus on your style strengths. What are your style? Like, what is your style? Dig deep. Revisit it every week, guys. I have been doing this for 3 years now, and I just realized that my style is very Western. Like, I have a very Western style, not cowboy, but like Western, like the boho Western vibe. I didn't know that it was Western. I didn't know that boho really correlated with, I had no idea. I went to a rodeo and I was like, oh my God. I love all these vendors because they had a very Western style. Okay. I'm still learning. Every single day I'm learning, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm a very sporty, like, right? Like, hone in on that. Don't stop searching. Don't like think like, oh, she's so repetitive. It's the most important thing. Your shop style is the most important thing. If you are going to sell everything, I'm telling you, you're not going to talk to anybody. We know this as coaches. This is something I teach my coaches, like when people are learning how to be coaches. They cannot talk to everyone. If I talk to everybody, I'm talking to no one. But when I talk to you as a boutique owner, we connected, right? But if I was just saying like, oh yeah, I can help you create a group, no, and yeah, I can help you create a group, but what I can help you with, bugs, is your boutique. I can help you create a boutique. I can help you upscale your boutique. I can help you with your marketing of your boutique, right? That's why we connected. We didn't connect because I just said, oh, I can help you with your group. Oh, stop it. Okay. Be willing to let some people go so you can find the best people, your ride or die fans. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to talk about community today. Okay. What sets your community apart? This is really important, guys. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about like the vision of my community and like where I'm going, because I know you guys look to me as like a mentor, and what I'm doing today is not what I'm going to be doing in 6 months. Okay. And so what I'm doing today is I pretty much sell almost everything on my community. I have a business page, but it's a new business page. So I had to restart it when I left LuLaRoe and came into my own independent boutique. I couldn't get the name changed. I couldn't. I tried really hard, and so I just kind of gave up at a certain point and was like, I'm just gonna go. Let's just restart. Let's be fresh. Let's do this. So my business page is very new, actually. I used my LuLaRoe business page every single day almost. It was very, still is very, like, I get a ton of engagement on it. Sorry, my dogs are freaking out about something. He's in big trouble. He's in big trouble today. My dog, he's very naughty. But what I was saying is I'm using my community right now because it's how I can sell. It's a 3-year-old community almost, and I've worked really hard at developing it, and so it works. But in 6 months, my vision for my community is going to be really confidence. Okay, it's going to be confidence, women confidence, things like that. I'm gonna have a very specific mission for my community because I'm gonna start moving to the business page to sell on. Okay, it just doesn't work right now. So I don't want you selling on a business page if it doesn't work, guys. You slowly like will move over there, and I can help you with that. But don't just go to a business page because it works. Okay, if you're getting 10 people on your business page lives, have you tried it in your group? I had a triple the amount of people. I'm not going to say a number because again, comparitis. I had triple the amount of people in my group last night watching my live as I've had on my business page. Okay. So at a certain point it's ego, but on a certain point it's sales. You have to get sales. So don't just keep doing something because it's what you've been doing or it's been what you've been told to do. Now, am I going to start using my business page more? Yes. But until then, I've got to sell clothes. I've got to make money. I got to take care of my family, right? And so make sure you're reevaluating what you're doing. Just kind of saying that, okay? So I'm just giving you a heads up. My community is not going to be what it is right now, always. I'm not always going to be selling in it, only selling, okay? And so I've been doing challenges in it. I'm going to run another challenge in August for confidence. I do lots of things like that. So what sets your community apart? I know one of the gals on here who's watching, she does a lot of pattern mixing. And so that's really what she thinks sets her apart, though it makes her very unique. And so I think that her, mission statement or kind of theme for her community would be like mixing clothes and cocktails, right? And so it's like this. Think about it. If you were to tell someone about my community and you were to refer it and you don't really know like how to explain my community, you're not going to refer me. She sells clothes. Cool. So do 1,500 other people on Facebook, right? So what sets you apart? Again, here, confusion leads to inactivity. Someone cannot share what you do. They can't share your community or your business or your boutique if they don't understand it. The more niche down, the more specific you can be. What will you offer people? What does your community offer them? Okay, so I would come up with a very short mission statement or theme that your community is about. What are you going to offer people? Okay, so I love you guys. This is your homework for the week. I know I'm talking to a few of you this week. I'll talk to the rest of you next week. Make sure you set up your calls for the month of July. I'm going to be on vacation, so we are going to have, I got to think about that. I will probably have a few days while I'm on vacation that I will do calls. Maybe I'll look at it and see what I have for July, but make sure you set up your July calls. I would do it every other week if you possibly can, just because, the homework that I'm giving you is, it takes some time. So I love you ladies. I'm so proud of you, and I hope that you really take some time to work on your mindset this week. Mindset is so important in business. So, so, so important. I never realized until I sat down and slowed down and took care of myself and my business that really things started to grow. And it became so much more enjoyable than just putting packages out the door and moving product, because moving product, it's never going to end. It's never going to end, guys. Like, it's never going to feel enough. It's never going to feel enough. So you really got to slow down, hone in on your mindset, do these things that seem silly, but they're not silly. Okay? And I'm so excited for you. Chat soon.